Do you know what? Life is really, really hard sometimes, and what we need when we are faced with such a difficult situation, we need friends that are going to talk to us straight. We need friends who are going to tell us exactly what they think, regardless of if it's difficult to hear. We need people in our lives that we can be bold with and that we can talk straight to, that aren't going to get offended when we say things or if we hear things that we don't like. And that is the spotlight that I'm shining today on a great friend of mine who I believe from over there on the west coast of America is doing great work, not only for podcasting, but who is doing wonderful work for the men of the world. That is right. This is the Podcast Accelerator. I'm your host, Mark Asquith, CEO of Rebel Base Media. We make Captivate.fm, the world's only growth-oriented podcast host, where you can host multiple shows for one monthly cost and benefit from industry standard analytics at absolutely no extra fee. All right, please go and check that out for 7 days totally free at Captivate.fm. Now, I am going to talk a little bit more about this chap in a second. It's part of my International Podcast Day celebrations. We're going to talk about that just really, I guess, running into next week as well. Episode 69, I'm going to talk about 3 lessons that I've learned from over 1,100 episodes. Then we're going to dig into some listener engagement stuff and the importance of a podcasting vision. So I'm kind of wrapping up my International Podcast Day celebrations next week because why not? Why not extend that along? Because I believe in the work that Dave and Steve are doing with International Podcast Day and want to shine a light on that as much as possible. But before I get to discussing this great man, I'm actually just going to tell you a little bit more about something else great. AWeber, which is my email marketing platform. Yes, of course, they sponsor the show. Yes, of course, they pay me money. But I would say this about AWeber, and I was saying this way before they started sponsoring me, which I think is why they did start sponsoring me. I truly believe that email marketing is the way to connect with your audience. And we're going to talk about that, like I said, on episode 70. And the interesting thing about this is that email marketing doesn't have to be hard. And AWeber have just launched an amazing new tool that will design your email campaign and design your design for your email layout based on your website. All you do is put your URL in it. It's going to design an email newsletter for you. Now, seriously, this is a game changer. But the thing that is also changing is the offer that AWeber are giving you for listening to this show. Right now, today, you can get 90 days totally free if you go to markasquith.com/AWeber. But that will be changing. That is the best term that you are going to get on AWeber. So please go and check it out before we change the offer up. Like I said, go and check it out, markasquith.com/AWeber. Now, my spotlight today does come from through the lens of life not always being easy. But the thing that separates out those who succeed from those who don't is their willingness to step up and make bold moves. Bold choices. That's why today I'm shining a spotlight on my great friend, Mr. Rick Clemons, the bold move expert. Now, I'm not going to lie here. I am not going to lie. Rick and I have very similar personalities. We get pretty stressed. We sometimes kind of shoot from the hip when we shouldn't do, but that's just what we like. It's what gets us to where we are. It's how we do what we do. It's how we achieve what we achieve. And there's very many times that Rick and I clash because we're very passionate people. And honestly, we're just straight talkers. And very often, what you'll find is that the people that you filter out in your life, the people that go the distance, the people that last, are the people with whom you can do that. The people that you can say, listen up, dude, you've been a bit of a tool. And he says that to me. I've said that to him. And I do this with my closest friends, all right? You do it with your family. This is the ability to be bold. It's the ability to step out of your comfort zone and build something for the long term. Now, this is what Rick does with his clients, with his audience. So Rick hosts a couple of podcasts, 40 Plus Real Men, which teaches generally people that are over 40 to embrace what it means to be a real man in 2019 and beyond. And that's not the macho side of things. That's not what we traditionally think of as being a quote-unquote man. It's actually being humble and empathetic and in touch with your emotions and actually being a kind, caring, genuine soul that actually makes bold choices and moves based on their own lives and what they want to achieve. But Rick also, in tandem to that, runs the wonderful Life Uncloseted podcast that teaches people how to make bold choices and bold moves from a place of discomfort. And it's vital. I think it's vital listening for anyone wanting to succeed in life because ultimately we have to learn how to make the choices that are difficult. Now, it's not always easy, and I know this. It's not always easy being a straight talker. You can alienate people. I alienate people every day because some people just don't like me. If I walk into a group scenario, I'm just how I am all the time, and people write me off as arrogant. They write me off as cocky, overconfident. But it's not. You know that. You've got to know me. The people that know me know that that's quite simply not the case. It's just that I treat everyone fairly and with the same level of intensity. No one, whether you're the CEO or whether you are the janitor, gets any different treatment from me. You get love, respect, and friendship, and you'll always get the humility. Some people don't like that. Some people mark you as arrogant and overconfident and just not my kind of person because of that. And Rick, I know, has the same problem because he teaches people bold moves. He understands what it means to make a change, and he understands what it means to tell someone what they need to hear, even if it is uncomfortable to hear it. And that is why I respect Rick. That is why I respect Rick, and it's why I think you should be in touch with what Rick is doing in the podcasting world. It's why you should be in touch with what Rick is doing right now, just across the world, in order to help people to do what they do. And importantly, to do what they want to do, even if they never thought they would achieve it. So to help with that, I've popped Rick's trailer into my feed. So there's a bonus episode available right now, which is the trailer for Rick's podcast, 40 Plus Real Men. Please go and check it out. And thank you for joining me. It's always a pleasure to be able to talk podcasting, to shine a light in particular on these people that are doing wonderful work. So please go and check Rick's episode out, his trailer, and just tell your friends that if they're into podcasting and they need some insights, some straight talking reactions, tell them that this podcast exists, all right? Go and get involved on the podcast app that you're listening in. Share it with your friend via text or WhatsApp or whatever you want. Stick it on social media. Give us a tag at Mr. Asquith. And go ahead and check out Captivate.fm for your podcast hosting, analytics, and marketing needs. It's free for 7 days. So it's always a pleasure. And until the next time, remember, the more you expect from yourself, the more you will excel.